Hi pumpkins, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another look for my Get Goth With Me series. This time it's a pin-up style gothic makeup look. So if you want to see how to get this look for yourself, first make sure you subscribe to this channel and then keep on watching. I'm starting this makeup look as always with some good old primer already applied all over the face, and now we're going to take some white concealer and we're going to take this all over the eye area and we're going to blend that into the skin using a concealer brush until we look like we have a reverse panda eye weird white mask. Now I'm going to be wearing a black and white wig today, so for my brows I'm going to use some black cream makeup, or you could use a black lipstick if you have one, and we're going to use that to create some thin arched brows, and then we're going to set that cream product in place with a matte black eyeshadow. Now we're moving down onto the eyes. We're going to take a cool toned brown shadow and we're going to run that through the crease all the way from the inner corner up to the tail of the brow. And then we're going to soften that harsh appearance by blending a light coloured matte eyeshadow over the top and then going up towards the brow. Now we're going to deepen that crease with eyeshadow that's 1 or 2 shades darker than the first, and we're going to run this all the way along the lower lash line as well to add some definition. Again, I'm trying to keep this nice and softly blended, and I'm using a clean fluffy brush to blend that out. For the lid itself, we're going to use a light or nude coloured shimmer eyeshadow. I'm using a mix of 2 in the palette that I have, but you can use whatever you like. Now for the inner corner, we're going to use a shimmery white eyeshadow and we're going to tuck that into the inner corners and softly blend towards the lid. At this point we can assess whether the eyes are dark and dramatic enough. I decided to add a little tiny bit of black eyeshadow into the crease and along the lower lash line to deepen them up. Now we just need to sweep away any fallout with a makeup wipe. And then we're going to use a black liquid liner to create a medium-sized line along the top lashes, and then we're winging out towards that tip of the brow. Now we're going to move on to foundation. You guys know the drill by now. If you've seen any of my Get Goth With Me videos, you know that I always use a full coverage foundation with a few drops of white foundation mixer to make it lighter. And then I'm dotting this onto my face using my fingers and then working it into the skin with a foundation brush. I've actually added slightly more lightener into this foundation than I usually would because I want as much contrast between the face and the eyes and lips as possible without going straight up black to white. Once that foundation is worked in, we're going to go in with a damp blending sponge to remove any brush marks from the face and remove any excess oils. For contouring, I'm going to go back to that black cream makeup and I'm going to use a really small amount to draw in some contour lines wherever I want them. And then I'm blending that out with a foundation brush until it's nice and blended in. You really want to work this in well so that it's a subtle blend and it doesn't make you look like you have, you know, dirt on your face. So that's all of the cream products we're going to use in this tutorial. So now we're going to go over those contour areas with a cool toned brown contour powder. This is going to give a more natural effect to the contours and give a smoother transition to our pale base colour. Right, so now we need to set the rest of the face, and for this I'm using a mixture of translucent and white loose powder. I want to emphasise the paleness of the skin, but I don't want to end up looking paper white for this particular look. So we're going to mix the two in equal parts and we're going to set the entire face using that mixture, taking care to buff out any creasing that may have occurred before you go over with the powder. I'm paying special attention to my under eyes to prevent them from creasing, which they always seem to do, and then also to my T-zone because that's where I get oily and it's where it's more likely for the foundation to want to move around. And then whatever powder is left, I'll do a quick swish all over the rest of the face. At this point I've added some white pencil to the waterlines, but for some reason the camera didn't record that part, but now we're moving on to blush. Traditional vintage makeup always includes a healthy flush of colour on the cheeks, but with a more gothic look we don't want it to be too strong, so we're going to use a subtle pink shimmery blush on the apples of the cheeks to give a nice feminine glow. Then we're going over the top of that with some powder highlighter. We're also hitting the very top of the cheekbones with this, as well as down the nose, on the cupid's bow, and a tiny little bit between the brows. For the lips today, we're going for a nice dark blood red colour, so first we're going to line the lips with a dark red liner pencil, and we're giving ourselves a nice deep cupid's bow shape using that pencil. If you don't have a really pronounced cupid's bow, you can just do it with the pencil. And then we're going to use a dark red long wear lipstick to fill in the lips. And then if necessary we're going to sharpen up those edges and clean up all the way around the lips with a liner pencil which matches the skin tone, or if you don't have one of those you can use your concealer on a small lip brush. Now for a quick curl of the lashes, and today we're going to be applying some dramatic fluttery eyelashes. Again, I am absolutely nowhere near a false lash expert, so I'm just going to muddle through until they look right. As with all things makeup, I guess the techniques come with a lot of practice. And then we're going to finish the eyes with a good coat of black mascara to the top and bottom lashes. Then of course we're going to finish with a spritz of setting spray, and a neat trick I learned from a Nikki Tutorials video If you fan the face right after the setting spray, it helps the makeup to stay set for longer and you get less of a spray pattern with that way as well, just in case the spray bottle is a little bit too sprayy, if that makes sense. So this is the completed retro pin-up or rockabilly or Gothabilly makeup look. I really hope you enjoyed watching today's Get Goth with me, guys. If you did, please make sure you give it a like and subscribe to my channel before you go. If you want to see some more of my makeup looks, you can check out the Get Goth with me playlist, which is linked on screen right now, and I'll talk to you in the next one. See you later!